Welcome to part 2 with Joey and myself on the Better You podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Yazi Sengari. Joey and I are back with more.
Since my mom's a therapist, I've had the pleasure of knowing about people and why they do stuff. I believe communication is the best key, number one. If you go seeking this advice, the first thing that someone asks you or a therapist asks you is, do you have a problem? The first rule or the first step to fixing a problem is to admitting that there is a problem. Okay, so you're going to be like, okay, I have a problem. And the second question is, do you want to do something about it? Because funny enough, there are a lot of people who don't really want to do anything about their situation. They just want to talk. So they'll come to a therapist and say, yes, you know what, I don't really want to fix my marriage. I just want to talk about it. Like, he's annoying me. He's an idiot. He's an asshole. Like, but I just want to talk. So after admitting that there's a problem and the second step, saying that you want to do something about it, then you can go through the healing process or the process of fixing or getting a solution to the whole thing. But I feel like you should definitely know who you're talking to for advice. Knowledge is power. When someone gives you advice, you need to be sure that this is what you really want to do. And it's not necessarily go break up with the person or do this or do that, but I would always recommend you going to sit the person down and communicate with the person. Why are you not showing me to your family? Why is this? Why is that? And he or she should be able to say what the real reason is. Regardless of hurting your feelings, you should be ready for anything. So you go to the person says, you know what, yes, you don't smell right. Okay, and I don't know how to tell you, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I'm telling you this. And so this is what is the problem. Because last time we went out, my mom was like, ooh, your girl, she got some fun going on. But, so communication is necessary. You're fine, I love you. Just an example.
I know, I'm just joking.
So this is something that advice, good advice, communication, sitting down with the person, talking to the person, and then figuring it out together.
I definitely agree with that. And sometimes when you talk to the person, it's possible that the person will, if it's just a mistake, if it's an oversight, obviously they will change, obviously. But if it's not an oversight and things don't change, then what does the person do?
That is the question.
Mm-hmm. I would say that if things were not to change, what I would personally do is I would really evaluate the whole situation. And is it me? Is it that I'm overthinking, or is this person stashing you? Now, a person, I always say this on this podcast, a person that loves you, respects you, is going to appreciate and understand you, especially your boundaries. They are going to want to keep you happy. So if you're not excited about what's going on, they will change it.
Right.
They will completely change it. And if it doesn't change, then I think it's time you walk away. Because abuse is abuse, whether mental, physically, or emotionally. And believe it or not, emotional and mental abuse actually goes way deeper than any type of physical abuse. It can take years. Some people never, ever recover from abusive relationships. Yeah. So once you notice something like this, it is best to walk away. You're bound to find another partner. There are great people out there. And may I say this too, that this can happen in any type of relationship as well. It can happen in a friendship. It can happen in a queer relationship, in a straight relationship. It can happen. It sometimes even happens in the workplace. So it's a great thing for you to keep this in mind.
Right. And communicate.
Yes, and communicate. Mm-hmm. And there's always the question out there that, is it narcissists that do this? Yes, some narcissists do this, but it doesn't mean that the person is a narcissist if they're doing that. Right. And while I was, gathering information for this topic, other things that came up were other relationship terms.
Right.
Like ghosting. Have you ever been ghosted?
Yes.
Me?
I have.
Really?
I have.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby.
I'm so bad with relationships.
Really?
It's horrible.
Oh, I mean, it's, don't worry. You be tuning in more now and you get it. I've never been ghosted.
Okay.
Never, ever. But ghosting is like when someone just cuts you off.
Right.
No explanation. Like the person just disappears. It's like you never existed.
You reach out to the person.
Yes.
Get to the person.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is
Definitely
no calls, no text messages, nothing. I'm so sorry you
It's fine. I'm a better.
So Joey, what was your ghosting experience?
It definitely wasn't a relationship kind of thing. Like it was a friendship kind of thing, where I had a very, very good friend and this person just up and ghosted me. No communication. You try to reach out to the person doesn't pick up. You try to talk to other people who know this person and nothing. That was proper ghosting.
Yeah, that's real ghost, especially from a friend.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
So you're gonna ask yourself, was that person ever a friend?
You know, but don't take this personal as well, right? Because sometimes people are going through their own things and people have their own reasons.
True.
I have a friend that once told me that. Okay, let me not say this. That friend might get mad, but a friend can say that a pastor told me that this girl is evil, and that's why I just decided to cut them off. Right. So maybe you didn't even do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't think you should take it to heart at all, especially if you know that you were a good friend and you did your best.
I did my part.
Maybe it's even great that that person has left you.
Maybe
you know what I mean?
Yes.
There are a lot of other dating terms such as curving, benching, haunting, cushioning. And Joey's gonna come back and I'm gonna delve into all of them with him. We don't have enough time, so today we're just gonna focus on pocketing and stashing and just a little bit of zombie. So we will be back with more. Stay with us, guys. Now, any last words, anything that you want to say to anyone that may be experiencing this or that is in a abusive relationship? Any last words?
Well, like I always say, just communicate. Open up about stuff. If you feel like there are red flags that lead to you thinking that you're being stashed or pocketed, sit with the person and talk to the person and ask why this is happening. And if you're the one who is stashing or pocketing the person as well, you need to open up to the person as to why you're doing that. If it can be fixed, fine. If it can't be, then y'all better go your separate ways. But yeah, that's free advice for y'all.
Amazing advice. Amazing advice. Where they can find you on social media?
So Joey Bedwei on Instagram. Facebook is Joey Bedwei. Snapchat is Joey Masquerage. It's a long story, but I'm sure we can talk about how that name came up. That's for another day. So yeah, that's about it.
I'm just looking at Joey and just how handsome he is. Now, what I will say to the people out there is, as a person that has been in an emotional and mentally abusive relationship, is just trust yourself. Put yourself first. You know when you're being pocketed. You know when you're being stashed. And deep down inside of you, you know better and you know the right thing to do. Choose you. No one is going to come and save you. You have to save yourself. Joey, thank you so much for your time. Thank you. I've had a great conversation.
I had a great time.
I did. You gotta come back.
I will.
Because we gotta do part 2 of this and we gotta do more. Okay? Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. Better You will be back. Catch us. Make sure you're liking, you're commenting, you're subscribing, you're following us on all social media platforms. I'm Yazzie Singari. Check him out.